One didn't go so great, so I'm going to unmute my laptop and see if I can hear my audio. Doo-doo. Does that sound better? Does that sound better? I mean, it sounds like me, so that's cool. All right, so we are going to mute that back up. Hit play on that. Change that to live chat. And like it. Because if you don't like your own self, it's difficult. Oh, hey, Pooh. Thank you so much, Rachel. I saw your text, Lauren. Hopefully it's okay for me to call you Little Pooh. If it's not, well, I guess it's too late. But I saw your text. I started a live stream a few minutes ago, and Eric told me that the audio was super bad and crackly. And I was basically just talking about why the reason I'm doing this on my birthday is because it's something that I find scary, but also something I have control over that's not actually like scary. So it seemed like a good day to challenge myself to do this. And then, oh, hey, Acacia, how's it going? And yeah, so then Eric jumped on and said that my audio was all fucked up and it sounded super crackly. And after I hit end and then before I hit restart, I saw your name, that a text from you had come in, but I was like, nope, if I stop now, I'm just gonna let the fear eat me whole and I won't do it again because it's kind of embarrassing when you do work through the fear of doing something and then it's all fucked up and like whatever. So anyways, here I am and nobody's telling me it sounds like shit, so I think it's good. So yeah, so I saw that you did text me, but I did not see what it said. So my apologies for that. But hi Acacia and hi Rachel. Thank you so much for being here as well. Um, yeah, so what else had I been saying? Oh, that I had brought myself a little project that I'm working on because I thought, sometimes because it's not like fear, like, I mean, it is fear, but it's not like, it's the kind of fear that, like, leaves your body feeling like jittery. I don't know how to change the chat on the It's very fucking tiny anyway. So every time I look over here, just so you know, that's because that's where the chat that is big enough for my fucking 49-year-old eyes to see is located. But anyhow, oh good, it sounds good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Keisha. And Lauren, or Lola Lauren. So, yeah, so anyways, I brought a project, brought from my own house, but prepared a project to have to kind of get some of that, help get some of that somatic nervousness out of my body and give me something to do. Audio A-OK now. Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric, or Talking with Famous People. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you letting me know the first time. What fortuitous and lucky timing that you showed up and let me know right at the very beginning, because I probably would have just kept yammering on for a while, not realized it till way after the fact, and that probably would have made going live the next time more difficult. But yeah, so anyhow, the gift that I gave myself for the birthday of me, I don't know why I said that in such a weird way, but for myself, I got me a few days off from work. So okay, that sounds good. Um, thank you, Lauren. And I love you too. Wait, what the fuck was I saying? God damn it. Sucks when I interrupt myself and knock myself off course. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's so much easier when that happens, when you're having an actual conversation with somebody, because then you can just like, days off from work. Thank you. So yeah, so I took today, tomorrow, and Friday off from work. So I've got, and then I typically have the weekend off anyhow. So I gave myself a 5-day weekend, which, I mean, truly giving myself lots of unstructured time is, I can't think of a better gift to give me, honestly. Yeah, ease anxiety. Like, it's funny because when sorry, I'm responding to Acacia's comment here about uh, about liking to have things. When back in the day when I was married to Andrew and he's a musician, so I used to go to a lot of gigs at a lot of like small places like bars and small music venues, small local music venues and shit like that. And a lot of times I'd end up being there early and kind of being there the whole time. So, and I just don't want to, like, that's a lot of peopling to be done, especially where I was at that point in my life. Um, and so I would bring my knitting with me, and I got pretty good actually at knitting in the dark. Um, but I think that people probably always kind of thought it was strange. Person kind of sitting in the corner, knitting in the dark. Thank you so much. Hi, Ruben R. Thank you so much to be here. Oh, what is a skibbity bombaclat? I've been noticing this new fandangled language of the youth out there, and honestly, I don't even know what to make of it. Um, Thank you so much, Ruben R. Happy Valentine's Day to you, and happy Valentine's Day to all of you. I think I said that in the first video, which nobody could probably even properly hear, so hello again. Um, yeah, I really did. I brought knitting everywhere with me for a long time, so yeah, there's something. It's. I feel like it's kind of like as I've gotten older. I don't think this is the language I would have used when I was younger at all, but as I've gotten older and like the last round of therapy over the last decade or so has been, more or less on and off, pretty intense for a variety of different reasons. And so I kind of learned about somatic work and, well, I mean, the fact that, like, I know this is just so common knowledge, and it's one of those things that, like, I knew but didn't really, like, on a body level understand, but just the idea that, like, whether it's actual trauma or just stressful experiences, that those things, if the sort of energy of those things isn't, like, cleared out of your body in some way, that the residue of that can stick around. And if you let that happen for a long enough time, you end up with all sorts of chronic pain stuff. So, one of those things I guess I wish I'd learned, like, I don't know, maybe 30 years younger, that would have been great. But regardless, now I try and be more aware of it. But yeah, even when I was knitting in the corner of the bar back in the day, it's just one of those things that it's like it can help the anxiety because it gives you something else to focus on. My God, the fucking tiny little holes. But yeah, so anyways, so this is a bag I'm working on. I'm trying to work on two, and ordinarily I turn on my timer because I'm trying to get a better understanding of how long it actually makes me to take things, because I never do a whole project from start to finish in just one go, and my sort of concept of how much time has passed is not very good. So yeah, so I've been I'm sort of working on two of these bags. They're going to be sort of similar to this one, pretty similar, except, this one is brown, and these two will be black. And I made a couple of different linings for them so that instead of just being leather inside, they'll be muslin inside and like have an additional pocket, so it'll be I don't know, next evolution level. But I decided to make two at once because I thought maybe that would help me remember how to make it without actually going to the trouble of making all of the notes as I'm doing the making, and also because I wanted one for myself. But felt like if I was going to go through all of that trouble to make one, then I should also make one that hypothetically may end up on Etsy someday. Ooh, shoot, I'm so behind in the chat, so let me scroll back up. Yeah, what, do you have a favorite arts and crafts type thing that you still like to do, or have you kind of like cycled through them in the past? Ooh. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the first bag came out, and eventually it will probably, like, the goal, I just keep making this stuff with the goal that eventually I get around to trying to figure out a price for it and do the thing about taking the pictures and putting it on Etsy and maybe putting it on Instagram and shit like that. For now, I'm doing much better at the making stuff aspect of things than I am on the, like, anything else. um, but part of that is also, like, especially with a big bag like that, like, they're going to be slightly different, but they're more or less the same. So once I get a better idea of how long it's made, I can sort of, hopefully anyways, back into a price, factoring in the amount of labor and stuff like that. So, because it is all, Mr. Man was about to just go ahead and lay right down on top of my laptop. But yeah, because it's, you know, like I said, it's a lot of hand stitching, so it's pretty time consuming. So I don't know if any of them are actually really, like, saleable, because it might, I might just be, you know, price myself out right out of anybody wanting to buy them in order to give myself at least some sort of, you know, reasonable hourly wage. I don't know, we'll see. It's all an experiment, but in the long run, you know, worst case scenario, myself and two other people will end up with a bag some way or another. But yeah, so I've also been, you love making the profile part, showing the pictures. That's cool. I mean, we all have our different strengths, and like, it's not like, I mean, I'm not terrible at it, but I'm definitely not very good at it. And I tend to get, Mr. Man, please don't sit on that. I tend to get impatient, I think, with the process, and like, and inevitably, like, I mean, sort of like with the audio on the first video, like, I don't really understand technology. And so inevitably there is this point where, I don't know, fucking, I'll get an error message, or it will tell me a picture isn't formatted right, or like, especially on Etsy, there's only certain ways that you can crop them, and they do have requirements in terms of some sort of something. And so I always end up getting errors on that, which ends up just making it, it's the TE Polar shit coming up, I think, basically. Even though I've done it a bunch of times, it never fails to fucking stump me in some way, and I find that a barrier that is, like, what I'll usually end up doing is, once I finally, like, get around to doing it, I'll put a whole bunch of them on there at once and then not touch it for a little while, which it's probably not the most effective way to do things, but it's a way of doing things, and I mean, being the most effective really isn't my jam anyways, so that's fine. Oh, cool, you were selling stuff on Amazon, so yeah, you've got practice, so like, you know how to do what you're doing. And Acacia says, I like making things out of anything. I suppose the easiest is pencil, pens, markers, but I cycled through different paper. Ooh, paper mache, nice. Yeah, so like, it sounds like you're really skilled and interested in like fine arts stuff. I'm always a bit envious of people who have skills in that area, because I have very few. Like, my handwriting, I don't know, it's unique, and I guess even like when I take the time to go slow, it's mostly legible. But if I'm speeding up at all or trying to jot something down quickly, like, even I can't make out what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so anyways, I always have a ton of respect and more than a small amount of envy for people who are skilled in that area. That's really awesome, because like, it's also so, like you said, even just with pencils and pens and markers, like, Okay, I mean, if you get pencils and pens and markers, that is actually quite a bit of stuff. But, like, you can really, minimalize that shit by just having some pencils and paper, and that's, so portable. Um, so this is Mr. Man. I think you all have probably met him before, and I think you've probably all heard me complain about him before, but, uh, yeah. Oh, he is a lover of attention and was originally a neighbor's cat, but decided to move in here like a year ago. And yeah, so now he lives here. And he is mostly a big sweetie. And he does pretty cute things. He does like to make air biscuits, which I always find for some reason really endearing, because he, especially when he's doing it in the air, sometimes he'll go really slow, and yeah, it's just adorable. But my other cat, I'm guessing, is probably hiding somewhere, and I think the other neighbor's cat might be over visiting. Shorty T does come by for a visit pretty much every day. I think he likes the snackums, but he also seems to get a kick out of both pissing off Moochin and trying to play with Mr. Man, because Mr. Man isn't very old. But anywho, yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear him purring, but he purrs very, very loud. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I wish I'd made a better list of things to talk about. Because now I'm feeling like I don't know what to say. Delicious air biscuits. Have I typed him? I haven't. I haven't actually. I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like my first thought, he's definitely a lover of people. Like, I'll tell you that. Are you stuck? Are you stuck in there? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's definitely a lover of people. Like, anybody could walk into this room right now and pick him up and just, he'd be 100% just all about it. Or at least that's the way he has felt about the, like, I don't know, probably dozen or so friends that have been over around while he's been kicking around. Yeah, he does seem to like me. I don't know why. I really didn't want a second cat, and I definitely didn't want a male cat. And I definitely didn't want a male cat that takes a fascination in crows or likes to bully my princess Moochin. So yeah, I didn't consciously ask for this, but somehow I got it. So I keep trying to get my friend Lou to take him because they get on famously. She's a ginger too, so like they just, oh my god, it's a love fest whenever she comes to visit. But she also has a cat that is on the elderly side and had it rough when she was younger, and think it's likely that he would mess with the balance, because he does seem to be kind of he likes to dominate the space, and yeah, like he is a big baby and also a big bully, I guess, kind of. Yeah, I love this fluffy little dress pose. Totally. And like sometimes when he like jumps down, or it's not even jumps, when he gets down, like if he's been sleeping on a chair or the couch, or like him and I kind of fight over this stool, and like, it's not really a stool. It's like it's bigger than a stool, smaller than a bench. It's definitely not a stench. I don't want to call it that. That's terrible. Somebody with better any can think of something good. But anyways, so he and I both like to put our butts on this, and when he decides that he's done napping with something, will, instead of like getting up and jumping down, he'll like, I don't know, he like pours himself off of things and like kind of like slides off of things. He's kind of a weird a stool bench. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, that's definitely better. That's definitely better than a stench. Um, yeah, so he's a little sweetie for the most part, but he does definitely his entrance into the collective energy of the space has been disruptive and chaotic. And it's mostly fine. Like, I don't think him and Mujin have ever even like made contact or like actually gotten into a fight. But she really fucking hates him, and he does chase her. Not so much anymore, but when he first started showing up, he would. Do you mean that you do that too, or that you have seen cats do that before? Please do not sit on the computer. No, Doodly. Here, go there where your blanket is. Yeah, sit there. That did not work at all. I stayed put in that seat for about 12 seconds. Yeah, and it's also annoying because like I wear a lot of gray and a lot of black, and will occasionally decide to have a color that pops, but it's pretty rare. And he just does not blend in. And like Muchin, my other cat, is black cat, so like it just works out much better when she's been cuddling me. I end up looking less slovenly after her cuddles than his. I wonder if there'd be any squirrels outside. Maybe kind of fun, take y'all outside and see about that. You might on a rare occasion slide over and sure. I love that. I totally love that. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. It's really, I don't know, the first time I saw him do it, I was like, I thought he was like falling and that it like wasn't on purpose, and I kind of like, sort of jump started a little bit and was like, and then like he just like oozed into the right position and like walked out of it like it was obviously intentional, but yeah, I forget to stretch too. I, over the years, have gone through different phases with stretching and or yoga, and find both, any form of either, to be really beneficial, but sort of struggle with creating any like consistency with that. Actually, before we go outside, I'm gonna bring you all into the kitchen with me and drink more coffee, because I forgot to do that before I started this live stream. So I'm just gonna set you up here. I do like this going mobile. I think that's, except it's real fucking hard to read. What kind of cocktail are you partaking in? Oh, honestly, right now, this is just still coffee. Very, very boring. Just still coffee. It's possible later. I don't know. I kind of on purpose didn't make any plans for my birthday, because like going out on Valentine's Day is kind of a pain in the ass, and it's Wednesday. Like, and like, it's cold, it's dark, and it's not, it's not super nice out. But I might make myself a cocktail at home later, and if and when I do, it will definitely be an old-fashioned. That's pretty much my jam. I do like bourbon, and I do like fancy ass cherries. I like a fancy ass ice cube. A little ashamed to admit, but they are pretty neat. Um, oh, the man with the great machete! Hey! Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day or birthday or unbirthday for you as well. Um, but yeah, I do. I like myself an old fashioned. Although I don't actually think I have any whiskey. I do have cherries because I bought myself some of those fancy cherries, and really, it like you can have a like less good whiskey and a better cherry, and the cherry will make or break the drink. Is I guess what I'm saying, because you can have fancy ass cherry with not so good whiskey. That's probably gonna be fine. I mean, not like super shitty whiskey, because like super shitty whiskey is just shitty. But if you have really good whiskey and a really like crappy cherry, that will definitely fuck up your drink. A fancy round ice cube would be even cooler. Well, I don't know, but that sounds like that would be very cool because, like, who doesn't want a crystal ball in their drink? That sounds amazing. But I have not actually seen that. That sounds pretty cool. There was this. I don't give a damn about Valentine's Day. Did you know? Did you know? Oh, you didn't know it until I mentioned it. I'm sorry. I'm 49. That's all I need to say. But yeah. Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. But I did. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. There was this one time I went to. I think it was actually probably for a friend's birthday. Now that I think about it. Um Ended up at this like bar with fancy drinks, and like I mean a square ice cube is nice. Like one big square ice cube is just nicer than a bunch of small ice cubes, especially uh, because I do tend to drink pretty slowly. Like especially something like an old fashioned, it's kind of nice to not drink it really fast. That sounds kind of awful. But there was this one fancy place where they had not only were they big fucking square ice cubes, but they were like I don't like some fucking special fancy ass, and they were super crystal clear, the ice itself. And I did not think that something like that would impress me, except that I do have a thing for twinkles and light play, and I always have. And I will say, the fact that I even remember that drink is amazing, but it was beautiful. Like, it was just looking at the, like, through the ice cube. I don't know, it was really pretty. um, ooh. That would be super cool. A round ice cube ball with a cherry suspended. Do they make those? No, well, but then you'd have to wait for the ice cube to melt to get the cherry. And there is something that's nice about the cherry sitting in the whiskey, so then it tastes like whiskey-ish but at the end of the drink. And I am like, if it's a fancy cherry, I definitely, like, especially if I'm making it at home, I definitely fucking eat the cherry. Oh, pour over coffee takes so long to make. It is not that nice out. I find that a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping to get some time during this 5 days, get some time in the garden, because I've been trying to. It's like every year at the beginning of the gardening season, I make a belated, half-assed, fucked up attempt to be like at least a little organized, because it's just always, you know, I like to have a lot of different things going on, and obviously different things take different amounts of times to grow and require certain conditions for germination and shit like that. And so yeah, so I was hoping to get some time out in the yard just to start like prepping a little bit more, but it doesn't seem as though it's going to be warm enough for that to be like fun. So I don't know if I'll actually get around to it. Yes, double cherry your drink. That's a great idea. I think so too. But aesthetically, the suspended cherry. Yeah, I agree. Um, okay, I'm not sure. I mean, I can see how you're making the leap to Beauty and the Beast, although I couldn't explain it. Um, but no, I do agree that that would be cool. Then you get a prize. Yeah, exactly. Um, hmm. So, but I think I am going to also, I might go, I'm probably about 85% decided, but I think I might meet my friend Lou and her partner Joe at this place that's kind of like not that far from Seattle. Are you ready for it? It's like a capybara and otter and sloths, like indoor petting zoo kind of place. So yeah, I might go to that on Sunday. It's a couple hours away, but which is why I'm not 100% decided because this is far, and I should have been smart and taken Monday off too, because usually, or for a lot of places, it's President's Day, but that's not a day that the company gives off. So yeah. So anyways, this is a lot of driving before going back to work. Oh, the rose. Okay, you know what? I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I had completely forgotten that aspect. I'm not sure that I've ever I mean, I know that I've seen like parts of it, but I don't know that I've ever actually like seen it. Oh, never really thought about it. Yeah, it does sound pretty awesome. And the two of them had gone a while back. And so she sent me a bunch of pictures. And I guess it's like one of those things where like you can go to the petting zoo and it's, from what I recall, it was pretty reasonably priced. And like if you want the like extra special fancy experience, you can pay for the, like, a, I think it was a fair amount of money, more money than I would want to spend on it, for like one-on-one time with like babies. And when they did it a few months ago, it was baby capybaras, so they got to hang out in a room with baby capybaras for like an hour. And she sent me a bunch of pictures and a short video, and like, yeah, like the cuteness. I mean, come on, a baby fucking capybara, like, how can you not like squee a little bit over a baby capybara? Like, they're kind of just the cutest thing ever. All right. So we are going to go in search of squirrels. Not really. I'm just gonna. Well, I won't. I am gonna smoke, but I will not do it on camera because apparently that's a thing that you should be. I guess I could have done a better job totally cleaning my kitchen. Oh, you know what? The messy part's not even in frame. Nice. Love it. Accidental success. Thank you all so much for, I don't even know who's still here, but for whoever is here and whoever watches this in the future. And, well, if you've already left, you'll probably miss it, so I should have said it earlier, but didn't. But thank you so much for being here. Like, um, I know who you are. I know who all of you are, and I appreciate you, dropping by, hanging out with me for a few, while I ramble about absolutely nothing interesting. I wish I had, like, well, that's gonna be, that sounds more, like, I don't know, sometimes trying to walk the line between self-deprecating and not letting the self-loathing show is a fine line to walk. What I was gonna say is I wish I had interesting things to say, and I know I have interesting things to say. I just don't know what they are. They're just in there. Fancy birthday experience. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, it's oh, there are squirrels. Oh, and it's raining. Oh, gross. Oh, hi, cutie. Hang on, let me flip the camera. How do I do that? Oop, maybe that button. Oh, hey, Chris. Chapin or Chapin, I'm not actually sure. Happy birthday to everybody as well. Okay, well, all the squirrels have run away. Oh, there's one. Come here, buddy. Oops, I guess I should move the ashtray. Come here, cutie. Come. Oh, you guys couldn't see that, dang it. Here. I've got one little friend in the yard down here. Here you go, buddy. There's one. Yeah. I mean, you say in case chat isn't giving you rough material. I think, assuming that both of our types are right, and I'm INFJ and you're ENFJ, then I think it would be a pretty good sort of example on the difference between any ignoring and any demonstrative, because certainly in chat for fucking sure. Like, don't get me wrong, I do fine in like an actual conversation with a real person, but like this kind of format or even in chat, I don't think I am nearly as skilled at riffing off of others as you are. Oops, sorry. Beaver. Yes, this is my sort of front garden. So those are just hollyhock greens right now. Hopefully they'll put out flowers this year, because I think last year it was just greens. So they should put out stalks this year. And then those, that one real sad one there on the corner, that one right there. That's pretty much just all brown now. That was calendula, but when everything froze a few weeks ago, a lot of stuff turned to mush. And then the other greens there's a lot of like over here, all of those short stubby greens that are in the dirt, and kind of over here, there's a lot of daylilies in there. I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff too, but there's a lot of daylilies. Oh, let's see if I can point you down at a squirrely. Hi, squirrely. I know, you don't know what to do with the fact that there's a thing standing on the porch that's kind of tall like a person, but isn't a person. Thank you. Yeah, it really is a cute garden. There's also, I don't know if my Wi-Fi will fuck up at some point, but it kind of goes around the side here, and then there is a little backyard as well. So there's, a fair amount of space. And after, there's used to be a really beautiful, gigantic tree in the backyard that, there's this one crow that's just yelling at me. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but that's who he is. That's who he is if you hear the crowing in the background. But yeah, when the big tree came down and back, it had been a weeping birch that had it was really old, like 100 years old, so it had a huge canopy. And when that came down, it really opened up the whole backyard to be pretty much full sun, because that faces east, so in the summertime it gets all the morning sun into like early afternoon. Oh, hi, squirrely. Here's one this way. Here you go, buddy. And so it's been nice over the last few years. I guess that's been one benefit of the tree dying, is all of this like space that I have to grow stuff. So I'm still deciding on what to grow for this year. I did go through all of the seeds that I already have, and I think That might be something that I do this weekend, is getting some start done inside on some stuff like that should either really start early or is more like cold weather. But then I also have some seeds for some things that I want to buy. I like annuals, but I really, really like perennials. There's just something really, oh, there's Irene, I think. Oh, nope, that's not Irene. I lied. Not Irene, but a cute little squirrely who needs a peanut. Oops, sorry. Here you go. Yeah, the squirrels know. Yeah, I mean, there's several of them that I don't know if this one will do it. Let's try. There's several of them I can kind of hand feed. Here you go. You're so good. Oh, you're so brave. Come on. Yeah. So some of them are, that one, I think that is the one that I used to call string cheese, because last winter, which was his first winter, he didn't have any fur on his tail, so he looked kind of like a rat. And then he grew in the spring a puff only on the end of his tail. Oh yes, do I give them names? The ones that I can tell apart, or the ones that I get to know long enough that I know their personality, they all get names. She was the first. I knew her for like 5 years. And she's got a whole set of honorifics. Lady Stubbington of the Fallen Birch, Keeper of the Gentle Sneezes, something, 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 Wielder of the Half-Tail. Can't remember all of it, but the three, so far, the only three that have started to get their full honorifics are the three that I really loved that died. And they were all ones that I got to see for multiple years. And so, I get to observe them and, kind of get to know their temperaments. And, of the like 4 that I've been seeing for 3 or more years, 3 of them are no more, but there is still Irene, and like she's the only squirrel I've ever known who, like, I'll hand her a peanut, she'll sniff at it, and if it's not the right peanut, she'll just throw it down. And I know there's nothing wrong with that peanut, because then another squirrel will come right up and help itself. But so Queen Irene of impeccable discernment. Wait, petrichor? Is that how you say that? Petrichor the lizard? Yeah, so, I mean, they all get names eventually. As, some of them... Oh my gosh, I wish you guys had seen that. This little guy on the tree just did this cute little stretching thing. But, yeah, she has a super refined peanut palate. It's totally true. And what's funny, Acacia, is like, I pretty much I get peanuts and birdseed and shit like that from the local feed store. And it's only like 10 minutes away from where I live, just kind of like on the outskirts a little bit more. And also a little place. And they usually have the same suppliers, but I guess, with peanuts, it's just like, when you buy peanuts in bulk, sometimes it might come from a different farm or another. And like, I've been buying them there for a few years, and I've been, feeding Irene for a few years. And she, like, this one time I got a bag that had a different label on it, so it must have come from a different farm, or maybe it was a different varietal of peanut. I have no fucking idea. But she was not pleased with that, like, entire bag. Like, it was so funny. And the people at the feed store got a super kick out of, out of my story about her when I came back in once that bag was finally gone. Oh, I know exactly what smell that is. Thank you so much, Rubinar. Yeah, okay, I know exactly what that is. I know, yeah, I just never knew the word for it. Huh. Oh, thank you. Today I learned. Thank you very much. I mean, I know the camera is not pointed at me, but I totally did just do a little curtsy, so you're welcome. Oh, I think a lot of the squirrelies are going back in now that it's so shitty out. No, there's still this one guy here. Ah, cutie. Can you even see him, or is he too tiny? Can I zoom? Oh, I can. Oh, shit. Okay. Look at that. But yeah, and I have a kind of new little squirrely friend. Yeah, it's a good smell. It's definitely up there on the good smells list for sure. Um, but she has only one eye. Um, so that has been interesting seeing how she has adapted to that. I'm not sure what happened. Like, I feel like what happens a lot with the squirrels is like, sometimes I'll only see a squirrel once or twice, but like if they show up enough and they act weird enough or have something remarkable enough about their appearance, then they will eventually get a name. um, yeah, so far right now, I think the ones that I see regularly are Paisley, Wilhelmina, Irene, um, the one that I'm pretty sure is String Cheese. Which, by the way, like I said, yeah, so his tail started out naked, then then he grew a puff, but only at the very end. I had two tails back to back. Yes, I did. Um, that's, well, you know what? I guess this birthday is all signs go. That's cool. But yeah, so anyways, he had this puff that was only at the end of his tail, and then it like metamorphosed. I don't know if that's the right conjugation, but you know the word I'm trying to use. And it was he ended up with the most luxuriant tail. And he would also sometimes get real nervous about like taking peanuts from my hand and get little like dancey feet. So I think that squirrel is him because he has a very luxuriant tail and also gets little prancy feet. So yes, the ability to zoom. It did take me a minute to remember, but then I recalled. I was like, wait a minute, did I already forget the thing I learned today? That sucks. But well, it's the first thought that came to mind. You know what's funny, Acacia, is that um, when there were a couple of squirrels that I don't see anymore, actually, that originally had different kind of offensive names, and I actually changed their names when I started referring to them on video. Um, so I think it makes sense that that's the first thing that came to mind. To be honest, her full name, well, not her full name, but she hasn't really earned a huge amount of honorifics yet because I don't know her very well. Oh my gosh, I just saw a star balloon floating in the sky, but it went behind that tree and will probably be way too small by the time it comes out. But that was interesting. It was like one of those cellophane balloons. Um, Wait, what was I saying? The squirrel with one eye. Yes, so her full name is Wilhelmina Equinox. And so I do, I feel like that honors her one-eyedness because she has one eye that, half of her field of vision is dark and I'm not like a squirrel biology expert, so this might be wrong, but I feel like most animals that are prey, that have the eyes on the side of their heads, one eye will actually see like close to 180 degrees, which means that like half of her field of vision is gone. So, Equinox being, when there's a balance of light and dark, I felt was an apt surname that she had more than earned by surviving such a thing. Thank you. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. It just came to me. And I don't know, like, honestly, I wouldn't have named Irene on purpose. Like, Irene isn't, like, a favorite name I've had or anything like that. It's just one of those things that, every time I'd see her, the fucking name would come into my head. Like, literally, every time I'd see this little squirrel when I was trying to, like, when she was ready to be named. Oh my gosh, hello, Karma's Pimp. Um, Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Because I've noticed that a lot of times they will do uh, what's it called? Like the way they'll hone in on a peanut that they didn't see where it landed. They seem to rely more on smell than on sight when something is like pretty much right in front of them, which is just kind of weird. Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, I didn't. I felt like if I was gonna be referring to, yeah, I just whatever. My fucking 9 is showing up, not wanting to offend anybody or anything. I don't know why. So, y'all let me know if everything looks okay on your end, because when I came back inside, how I had it running on YouTube looked all fucking whack. So please do let me know if shit is hanging or any such thing like that. But yeah, so so today I learned that can I zoom this way? Oh, I can. Oh, nobody needs that. I am so sorry. That was such a not. That was not an effie like okay thing to do, especially without your consent. My apologies on that, everybody. But okay, field tested. I guess you can zoom on both sides. So yeah. So today I learned that, and I also learned. Fuck. What was that word? Petrichor? Was that it? I think that was it. I could just scroll back up and fucking look. I got it right here. Boop, boop. Petrichor. Holy shit. Look at that memory go. I also learned that even when the first stream goes horribly awry and my heart is beating and I'm feeling all scared, that, like, it's okay. There's, like, I think 6 people here now, and all presumably looking at me at once, and, like, I haven't died, and that's cool. So I would say yeah, I've had that experience. Oh, let me finish my sentence. I'd say that overall, this birthday is a success. Um, yeah, I've noticed something. Hello! I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but hello to you as well. Um, oh. um, So yeah, I feel like that's good. Yeah, it's hard to come up with things to talk about because I feel like honestly, I've been thinking like I really like what Taylor does. Well, sorta. I like the idea of panel conversations, but I don't really like the idea of it being so antagonistic. Like I would like to have conversations with other people. I think that for the most part, yeah, that it's easier to keep things going when there's another person to take up half of the space, basically. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That also seems like a lot of effort to put that together, and yeah, they can get to be too much a lot. Yeah, too much and a lot of the time, all of the things. Yes. Um, yeah, and that's the thing is that I'm not actually interested in the drama aspect of it. Like I feel like I don't really like I feel like a lot of some people I consider these people lucky are very clear and driven to do a certain thing and have like a lot of like understanding and awareness of like what exactly that thing is. And I felt for a while before I started this channel that like it was something that I had to do, but I really didn't know how, and I definitely wasn't sure why. And I don't know that I've really gotten any more clarity on that. So I just keep trying to like show up in the best way I can and hope that eventually something will click into place or whatever. But if I'm going to be making content, I like I think it would be okay. Like I think I'd be okay having conversations with people about things that I disagree with them about, but I'm not into the like personal drama, and I'm also not into the way I've seen like debate shit kind of go down, and like I just don't have the brain or the temperament for debates. But I do like having conversations. So yeah, I don't know. I missed some shit here. Oh, I'm gonna look on the big screen because that'll be easier. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Wait, you streamed Rubinar? Did I miss that? I think I hit the bell properly. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and I feel like that's not like I think that is part of that is just people being people, because it's not like that only happens on like Taylor streams. Like, I mean, shit. Like y'all know I'm a lefty, and like I'm also fucking sadly I'm a political junkie. So I take in a lot of like you know left wing type content of a variety of sorts, touching on like political stuff or shit like that. And even amongst like different content creators who, to the best of my knowledge, some of them may not actually even like know each other, but like there's huge beefs. And there's like, I mean, that's just part of it, is that like, I mean, to a certain degree, engaging with people is guaranteeing that there will be drama at some point, and like that's fine, but I prefer to keep conflict in the space of conflict and not just have it become like, I don't know, like that's just not how I want to spend my energy. And I don't think that would make me feel very good. Yeah, I think that, yeah. I mean, are there, Acacia asks, I'm sorry, I'm doing a very, I mean, you all can see, so, like, that's fine, but, are there specific topics you want to talk about in a hypothetical panel stream? I mean, there are, I guess, a few, like, I think in general, I do like talking about politics. I find personally, like, in my personal life, the most interesting and maybe productive conversations that I have are with people that I have a lot of agreement about, but we still have different perspectives, or we have, like a point of disagreement, because there's already so much groundwork there that it doesn't feel contentious. So it just feels like a more safe place to really get into the nitty gritty of like, just trying to get a better understanding of things. So politics/news. I mean, I do. I feel like trans rights and trans issues are a particular interest to me, and it is also a time when there is just a lot happening. There's a lot of stuff happening in terms of like bills being introduced and rhetoric being pushed, and just whole really damaging narrative out there, that I feel interested in. But it also feels kind of scary because, like, one, I don't identify as a trans person, and So there's the matter of like talking about a thing that isn't actually your thing, and like that's mostly fine, but it does mean that I'm lacking a specific and necessary perspective, so I'm not like the best person, obviously, but also probably not the worst, so there's that. And then there's also the like, being such a fucking nine, and being so like conflict uh, avoidant, I guess. And that is such a divisive topic that I'm not really even sure where to go with that. But I do find it to be something that I find both personally interesting and salient to what is happening in the world right now. Um, and again, how that touches on politics, and especially being an election year, oh my God, it's like, it really is like an addiction sometimes. Like, I do have to, like, I do have to be careful with the amount that I take in, because it does, like, I mean, y'all know the world it's, things aren't great right now in a lot of ways. And, yeah, so, yeah, ooh, stuffs. Okay. Mm. Yeah. I've thought before, because, like, I mean, the Whereby Room, that, I sometimes host hangouts there. I mean, that one that I did, like, a week ago was the first one that I'd done in, like, 2 years. But, there, a couple years ago, I was on a string where I was hosting them for quite a while. And, I've even thought about, like, and if there's anything, that any of you ever want to talk about, if you want to even like hang in the Whereby Room and record a conversation about a thing, and then put it out there as content later, like that's what I've said. I've got all sorts of ideas, but no real actual clarity, and I am any ignoring. So it's just like any more than a single idea coming in is like too many. I'm not gonna look at you. I'm waiting for the right thing to become known, fully formed in my mind, which is dumb. But anyways, are there people around you who want to talk about the same topics? I mean, I have conversations with my friends all the time. So I think it's less about, yeah, I think it's more about people wanting to have the conversations on camera. And then also, that is also setting myself up for like, editing and like, I mean, my channel obviously very tiny, but it does definitely, like, it mostly consists of tarot readings and me rambling about a thing or another, usually being sad. It's been the time of my life for the last few years. And squirrels, or crows or cats. So like, I'm not sure that having like serious long form conversation, like maybe that would be an opportunity to start a different channel, and then like, then I'm stuck with the like, okay, well, what is that channel gonna be called? How is it gonna be branded? So like yeah. SE aspiring more than SE doing, I think, a lot of the time. Yeah, I mean, awkward silence is. I would totally love to do that, Rubinar. I. It's funny. I feel like I do this definitely in like readings or when I'm making videos, and I've even noticed it today during the stream, that I talk a lot more and I talk a lot faster because I feel such a fear of the silence, and not like the fear of silence in general, but in terms of like when I'm putting stuff out there, I feel like giving y'all dead air is just like pretty standard faux pas. But I also feel like my expectation of myself is maybe a little high because I watch other streamers, and I mean, even Eric being, any first has moments where he'll read something or he'll be off camera for a minute. So You know, I think that's just me getting in my own head, as per usual, as per usual. But, fact is that, like, Mr. Man, just, uh, yeah, the fact is that, I think everybody, like, what the fuck was that? Did you, y'all witness that, right? He got on my lap. He bit me. I mean, it didn't hurt, but he's got giant fucking teeth, so it left 2 little fucking fang marks. And then he went away. The fuck? And he's purring like a madman. Like, so fucking loud. Um, and also to make me forget what I was saying, but I think I was pretty much done with whatever point I was making. Maybe. Yeah. If I wasn't, I am now, or it will come back to me, and I'm not. But, oh yeah, awkward silences, that's right. I think also part of it is probably that, like, except for when I'm hanging out with y'all, you know, and watching Eric live, like, a lot of the times when I'm listening to videos, I'm listening to it on 2x. um, and, buddy, just, you don't always have to be on me. I know you want to, dude, are you just acting out because you want attention? Man, see, fucking, he has a very persistent, derpy personality. Like, I'm not sure he's very smart, but he is definitely persistent. I mean, that is pretty much why he lives here now. Like, I never invited him. He just kept showing up and I couldn't get him to leave. Aggressive bonding. You squished him. He thinks it's time to be aggressive. Oh, stupid. My boy cats are that way. Hi, Jeremiah Fix. Thank you so much for being here. And also, I'm learning so much today. Your boy cats. Yeah, and he's a boy. And I've only had one other male cat before, and he was very gentle and very sweet and had kind of a more, like, retiring personality, I guess you would say. So this is new for me, and I don't love it. Wait, oh shoot, what convo? Oop, uh-oh, that's not what I want to click. There we go. Wait, did he say? I mean, I'm curious about what convo Rubinar is considering uploading. Wait, what? Oh, this, yeah, okay. I get it. I'm with you now. Oh, okay. Sorry, I am so slow to the fucking game. So you had a follow-up conversation with Spacey. Okay, alright, I see. Alright, and Spacey can see ENFJ, but thinks you're more likely to be 1 ENFP, 2 ENTP, or 3 ESTJ. That I'm too deliberative to be an ENFJ. Yeah. Oh, and also Mackenzie. Oh, how's Mackenzie doing? I haven't seen her in a minute. So how are you feeling? Like, do you feel as though Ruben R, that he was able to, like, give you, like, TI reasons? Oh, hey, Cadence. Do you feel like he was able to give you, like, reasons why he was seeing or not seeing certain things? Or, like, do you feel like you got more clarity on that front than you'd had before? Sorry, I just realized I can move this. pretty lackluster. Well, that's unfortunate. So, okay, well, I guess my follow-up would be, do you feel like you, like, based on that conversation, did it settle you either more firmly where you already were, or do you feel like it unsettled? Mr. Man, just stop. Um, yeah, do you feel like it offered you any further useful information either way? Had no decent reasons. Bummer. I considered getting typed by him at one point. I think I even reached out and emailed him about his pricing, but then, I don't know, fucking something happened and I fell off the... Yeah, and that was like a year and a half ago and I completely forgot. No TA reasons. Huh. So, wait, isn't an INTP a TI Dom? I would have, I mean, obviously not a typist, and guess I don't really know very many INTPs, or none, well, but is that typical for an INTP to have a firmly held belief but not be able to articulate their logical reasoning behind it? So, interaction, what does he... I feel like... Oh, he does that? No. Okay. Oh, he now identifies as an INFP. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I personally don't have, like... I mean, I feel like I barely understand the system the way that Eric talks about it and the way it's usually referred to, like the basics in terms of, like, you know, MBTI and socionics, and, like, still kind of, yeah, I just don't know. Like, yeah, the idea of taking on another system that has... Yeah, like, I just don't know if that makes sense, the idea of the, like, what that even means, the double extrovert or double introvert or whatever. Oh, I think I would need to make Ruben a mod for him to drop a link. So, how do I do that? Add as moderator. Okay. Alright, so Rubenar, you should now be a mod, so that whenever you want to send that link, you can. But also, no pressure. I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, you know, I feel like that word subconscious there that you just used, Jeremiah, I feel like that's an interesting word. And, like, and I feel like conscious and subconscious, it's like, I know they are words that have specific meanings, but I feel like the way that those words are used really just kind of muddies the water a little bit more, or a little bit unnecessarily maybe. That, I can't remember his name, but his channel he goes by is Another Majestic INFJ, I think, is, or something like that. And he, I've only watched a few of his videos, but in one of them, he talks about the word conscious and subconscious, and he's like, you know, instead of using those words, I kind of prefer to think about it in terms of, you know, like, actually, I can't remember what... Now am I back? Apparently did that totally wrong. I kind of like the idea of thinking about it in terms of, I think I'm still here. I don't know if I'm still here. If not, I'm just talking to myself, and that's fine with that. But I kind of like thinking about it in terms of attention or bandwidth because, I mean, it does seem to make sense that we all have all of the functions. So, I do think that working on the 8 function models make sense. And, like, it does also seem as though everybody can do everything, just to some degree or another. And, like, I know, for example, that, like, if I'm trying to do something that is, one of my less conscious stacks, like towards the bottom, it obviously gets harder and harder. But like if I'm trying to figure out how to put together a piece of furniture, and or how to like fix something, and like I really need to actually figure out the like way that a thing needs to be done. Sometimes I'll have to like literally like shut out external sensory information, and like kind of like when you have a video program, like have iMovie running on your Mac, and when it's processing video, you can hear the fan of your laptop kick in because it's using up more bandwidth than it usually has to. I feel like it's kind of like that. Like, uh, yeah, like it's not. We can flex at least temporarily to do certain things as situations require because we all do have access to everything, although our relationship to it is obviously different. I missed a bunch of chats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I've ever hung out with you a whole lot, Rubener, but I feel like we've hung out enough where, I mean, I couldn't put my finger on it either, but the people that I've known who I do believe to be ENFPs um, don't feel quite the same. Um, did sound go out for everybody else? Well, hopefully. Oh, what is the story? I don't know. I went to call to voicemail and shit got all weird, and I'm not sure it's come back. Please let me know. Am I on chat? I am on chat. Okay, did that right? Alright, well, it's quiet. Maybe nobody can hear me. How could I test that? Testing, testing. Oh, it is very quiet. What the fuck happened? Uh, alright, well, I don't know what the fuck happened. But, yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what the fuck happened. But anyhow, I guess I will end the stream now. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, I don't know. When I tried my first stream, the sound also got weird. That video stream was only a couple minutes long. I doubt I'll start another one. I feel like this was good and is ending on a pretty good note. Whatever. Um, yeah, the volume went way quieter. Yeah. Anyhow, I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. This One of the things that made it less scary and possible enough for me to do was hoping that y'all would be on the other side of the screen. So thanks for sharing some space and some time with me. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy birthday. And I will see you soon. Don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourself. Obviously. My goodness. Can't believe I almost ended the video without saying it. Love you guys. Oh, my birthday is today, KP. Talk to you later.